No one was really prepared for this news. Even a fandom as big as ARMY was stunned as soon as the news came out. Two friends who had always seemed so close, solid, and inseparable, BTS's Jungkook and Jimin, got into a verbal altercation that shocked everyone. And more ironically, the cause turned out to be just a thing, so trivial. But the effect? Bigger than anyone imagined. The fandom world caught fire. Social media exploded with hashtags that dominated trending topics for days, and conspiracy theories began to emerge one by one, creating a storm of speculation that has not subsided until now. This news first emerged from one of the staff who allegedly worked behind the scenes of the secret HYB project. On condition of anonymity, he leaked that there had been a very heated argument between Jungkook and Jimin while both were in the training room. The source even mentioned that Jungkook's usually calm voice, this time up a few octaves. "I've never heard him scream that loud before," the source said in a worried tone. The argument, according to information circulating, started from a short sentence Jimin said, "You're always late these days, Jungkook." A sentence that may sound unremarkable to an outsider, but to someone like Jungkook, who is known to be a perfectionist and highly upholds professionalism, those words were like a lash that hit his pride. What started out as a light-hearted comment turned into a heated debate that exposed the dark side of their relationship that has been covered in smiles and laughter in front of the cameras. "Don't talk to me about discipline, Jimin. You even missed 2 practice sessions last week and no one protested," Jungkook replied, according to the insider report. Jimin, who is known to be more sensitive in the face of criticism, was immediately provoked by his emotions and replied with words that were no less sharp. In a matter of minutes, the once hopeful atmosphere for BTS's long-awaited comeback turned into an emotional conflict field that left everyone in the room frozen. Since the incident, netizens have started looking for signs of a rift. Some fans handed over old video clips showing tense expressions between the two, which have been interpreted as jokes or funny moments. But now, all of that is reviewed with different glasses. ARMY began to question, is their closeness so far only a mask? Are there old wounds that never heal and just wait for time to burst? Social media has become a hot topic of debate. On the one hand, there was the ARMY who defended Jimin desperately, saying that he only wanted to maintain the quality of teamwork and had the right to remind his groupmates. On the other hand, there was a line of Jungkook supporters who considered Jimin too harsh and did not consider the great pressure that the Magne was under after being drafted into the ARMY. Internal fandom conflicts were inevitable. More worryingly, some of them began to form a stronghold between #Team Jimin and #Team Jungkook, something unprecedented in BTS's fandom history. More than that, speculation about the huge impact of this quarrel has gone wild. There are those who say that the BTS reunion project that HYB is designing for next year could be in danger of failing completely because the 2 main pillars of the group are no longer on the same frequency. One former manager even said that this quarrel was just the tip of the iceberg and that tensions between the members had been brewing since before they were drafted into the ARMY. He said, "The fans have only seen the surface, but pressure from the industry, public expectations, and accumulated emotional exhaustion, it can all explode at any moment." But it's not just about a threatened comeback. Some observers of South Korea's entertainment industry are even beginning to suggest that this could signal the beginning of a larger split. If this quarrel is not resolved wisely, then BTS could face a painful turning point in their career history, said a columnist from a well-known music media in Seoul. Meanwhile, HYB herself chose silence. There is no official statement. There is no clarification, no apologies or denials. And this silence only aggravates the situation. Fans feel left in uncertainty. They urge HYB to reveal the truth immediately. But as always, the agency chose the safe path, letting speculation burn the virtual universe while hoping this storm will pass by itself. What about Jungkook and Jimin? Interestingly, both of them have both disappeared from the public radar since the news of the quarrel exploded. No updates on social media, no live streaming, no public appearances. All that remained was a trace of suspicious silence. And it all further reinforces the suspicion that what is happening behind the doors of the exercise is much more serious than anyone imagined. However, there was one small hint that made fans' hearts flutter again. A few days ago, an anonymous account shared a blurry photo showing 2 figures very similar to Jungkook and Jimin sitting together in a small cafe on the outskirts of Seoul. The 2 looked back at each other. No talking, not staring, but it's in the same place. Fans began to wonder, Is this a sign of reconciliation? Or is it precisely the confrontation of the second half? In the South Korean entertainment world, disputes between members are not entirely new. But if it happens to BTS, a group that has always been used as a symbol of togetherness, brotherhood, and collective strength, then the impact is much greater than just a regular drama. This shook the foundations of trust that had been built for more than a decade. This led the public to ask, if Jungkook and Jimin can quarrel over trifles, what else can break in the future? More surprisingly, a former BTS choreographer who chose to remain anonymous revealed that in fact, this kind of small bickering is not the first time. They were arguing about choreography, about costume selection, even about who should stand in the middle during the encore. But this time it's different. This time it was personal. And from here comes a much deeper question. Did the relationship between Jungkook and Jimin really crack? Or is it precisely another form of a very intense friendship dynamic, like brothers clashing with each other for caring too much? Behind all the doubts and speculations, one thing remains certain. This quarrel has opened the eyes of many that no bond is completely immune to conflict, even in a group that has been used as a role model. Many initially had high hopes for 2025 as a momentum for BTS's revival, a reunion full of tears and surprises after all the members completed their military service. Even since last year, the Korean music industry and the world have predicted 2025 as BTS's golden year. But who would have thought that hope now seems like a fragile illusion? All because of one emotional outburst, one fight, a clash of egos between two of the most beloved members, Jungkook and Jimin. No one expected that a brief clash of mouths that was originally just a matter of delay would creep far and deep, until it penetrated the core of BTS's comeback project. The project has been prepared in secret since the end of 2023, with hundreds of billions of won in promotional funds, creative teams from 5 countries, a multidimensional spectacular show concept, and, most importantly, the commitment of all members to return as one. But now, the word unity itself is beginning to sound familiar. Split. According to exclusive information received by local media, the conflict between Jungkook and Jimin has led to at least 2 postponements of BTS 2025 project creative meetings. In a leaked internal HYB document, it was explained that the reunification schedule to the studio had been slowed down due to personal factors relating to the 2 main members. The words personal factors are now believed to be a euphemism for the simmering conflict between Jungkook and Jimin. One source close to the production team confessed that the atmosphere in the boardroom became awkward and tense whenever Jimin and Jungkook's names were called. Normally, they are the highlight, the center of positive energy, but now, everyone is careful. We do not know if they will be present at the next meeting, or if they will avoid each other, he said.